Most American gardeners in their 50s and 60s have spent decades planting the same dozen perennials every neighbor on the street already grows, while a quiet group of serious collectors has been filling their borders with plants so rare that visitors stop mid-sentence and ask if they are even real. Not because those collectors found some secret, because nobody at the garden center ever walked them past the catalog page where these 16 plants live. These 16 rare perennials grow in pots and borders across every American zone from 3 through 9, deliver season after season without replanting, and carry a combined specialty nursery value that would stop you cold. And the one at number 16, that is the plant serious ancestral botanical collectors, have been quietly keeping off the mainstream list for the last 30 years. Let us begin. Plant number 1, Himalayan blue poppy. And the first thing every visitor says when they see it blooming in your border is that the color cannot be real. Anemonopsis bettenicifolia produces a translucent electric blue that exists nowhere else in the perennial world, documented by the Royal Horticultural Society as one of the most coveted garden plants on earth, retailing at specialty nurseries between $14 and $22 per plant. Zones 5 through 7, cool summer essential, part shade, consistently moist acidic soil. Anemonopsis bettenicifolia behaves as a monocarpic plant in year 1. It flowers and dies unless you remove every bloom bud and force root mass instead. A technique documented by the Royal Horticultural Society that converts a one-season plant into a permanent colony. Afternoon temperatures above 78 degrees collapse the root system before season 2. That is a $14 to $22 loss per plant until the grower finds the cause. Give it a cool north-facing border, consistent moisture, and one sacrificed bloom season. It returns and expands for decades. Remove every bloom bud in year 1. Let the root system build. And by season 2, you have a colony that stops every neighbor who walks past your gate. Drop your state in the comments right now because your USDA zone completely changes which of these rare perennials actually perform for you. Plant 2 is the one that takes 7 years to reach its full crown. And what it looks like when it gets there is something most American gardeners have never seen outside a botanical garden. Plant number 2, Trillium grandiflorum. And a mature colony of this plant in full bloom looks less like a garden and more like something a botanical illustrator spent a year perfecting. Documented in Native American traditional botanical collections and colonial American heritage gardens, Trillium grandiflorum produces a pure white 3-petaled crown above a perfect whorl of 3 leaves. A structure so precise that visitors assume it is artificial, retailing between $14 and $20 at specialty nurseries. Zones 4 through 8, deep shade, rich moist woodland soil, undisturbed root zone. Trillium grandiflorum takes 7 full years to reach mature crown size, and every time the root zone is disturbed or divided too early, that 7-year clock resets completely. A fully established colony self-seeds and expands laterally without intervention, documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center as a protected native that builds permanent ground coverage in deep shade. Amending the planting hole with compost or fertilizer burns the rhizome before the first winter. Trillium roots evolved in raw woodland humus, and that mistake costs years, not 1 season. Plant raw woodland humus. Leave the root zone completely undisturbed, and a 7-year Trillium colony becomes the single most asked about corner of any American garden. Have you ever grown Trillium? Not in a pot, not in a greenhouse, but directly in a woodland border. Drop it below. Plant 3 has been quietly disappearing from American gardens for 40 years. And the reason it vanished is the same reason it is worth finding again. Plant number 3, Hepatica nobilis. And this is the plant that blooms while the ground around it is still frozen. Weeks before any other perennial in your border has even broken dormancy. Hepatica nobilis produces delicate star-shaped flowers in lavender, blue, white, and deep pink, documented in European ancestral botanical collections, dating back centuries, available at specialty nurseries between $12 and $18 per plant. Zones 4 through 8, part to full shade, undisturbed leaf litter mulch, slightly alkaline, woodland soil. Hepatica nobilis is fully evergreen. Its three-lobed leaves persist through winter and photosynthesize energy reserves before snow melts, which is precisely why it blooms weeks ahead of everything else. A single established plant slowly builds a clump that self-seeds into a spreading colony, documented by University Extension as one of the most reliable native woodland ground covers for zones 4 through 8. Raking the leaf litter away destroys the plant's entire root temperature system. Remove it and the shallow rhizome freezes before spring, a mistake that costs 2 full recovery seasons. Leave the leaf litter untouched. Plant it in part shade, and Hepatica fills the one gap every American border has: the 6 weeks when nothing else is alive enough to look at. And we have not even reached number 16 yet, the plant that serious collectors have kept off the mainstream list for 3 decades. Plant 4 does not look like anything in any garden center. Its leaves alone stop visitors before a single flower opens. Plant number 4, Podophyllum kaleidoscope. And this is the plant where visitors crouch down, look closer, and ask what you painted on the leaves. Podophyllum peltatum produces massive umbrella-shaped foliage in deep chocolate, olive, and silver marbled patterns so precise they look hand-illustrated, documented in Native American traditional botanical use and colonial American heritage collections, retailing between $16 and $24 at specialty nurseries. Zones 5 through 8, full to part shade, consistently moist humus, rich soil, 0 afternoon sun. A single $16 Podophyllum becomes a colony of 20 to 30 umbrellas within 4 seasons, spreading by aggressive underground rhizome without division or intervention, permanently filling shaded borders where most ornamentals refuse to establish. The marbled pattern on each leaf intensifies as the colony matures. 5-year plants produce leaves so dramatically patterned that visitors refuse to believe the color is natural. Plant it beside aggressive hosta, or ferns, and the shallow rhizome loses every moisture competition, a $16 to $24 investment that disappears silently before season 2. Planted in isolation, give the rhizome 4 uncontested seasons, and Podophyllum fills a shaded border with marbled canopy. No garden center plant matches. If you are watching and not yet subscribed, YouTube stops putting this content in your feed, not slows it. Natural Verge releases rare plant knowledge every week for growers who want real results. Hit Plant 5 is the one ancestral collectors across 2 continents have grown for centuries. American growers are only now catching up. Plant number 5, Paris polyphylla. And this is the plant that makes botanically educated visitors stop walking and start counting leaves, because the geometric precision of its whorled structure looks less like something that grew from soil and more like something an engineer designed. Paris polyphylla produces a perfect symmetrical whorl of lance, shaped leaves crowned by spidery yellow-green flowers that mature into brilliant scarlet seed pods, documented in ancestral Asian botanical collections for centuries, retailing between $18 and $28 at specialty nurseries. Zones 5 through 8, deep shade, rich, consistently moist woodland soil, undisturbed establishment. Paris polyphylla produces a scarlet seed pod that splits in late summer and self-distributes viable seeds directly into the surrounding woodland floor. A single plant seeds a quiet, expanding colony over 8 to 10 seasons without any grower intervention. The scarlet pod before it splits is one of the most visually arresting objects in any autumn border, a deep jewel, red capsule at the center of the geometric whorl, documented by the Royal Horticultural Society as among the most ornamentally valuable seed displays of any woodland perennial. Dividing the rhizome before 5 full seasons collapses the geometric structure permanently. An $18 to $28 loss that resets years of patient establishment. Leave the rhizome completely undisturbed for 5 full seasons and Paris polyphylla rewards that patience with a scarlet seed pod display in autumn that no other woodland perennial on this list can match. Did you believe rare collector perennials required a specialist greenhouse to establish? Be completely honest in the comments. Plant 6 is the one that looks like it belongs in a Himalayan monastery garden, and it grows in American borders from zones 6 through 9 with less intervention than most growers expect. Plant number 6, Roscoea cautleyoides. And every single visitor who sees this blooming in a border asks the same question: what orchid is that and how do you keep it alive outdoors? Roscoea cautleyoides produces soft primrose, yellow to purple orchid, shaped flowers on upright stems above glossy lance, shaped leaves, a member of the ginger family documented in Himalayan ancestral botanical traditions, retailing between $14 and $22 at specialty nurseries. Zones 6 through 9, part shade, deep, well-drained humus, rich soil, mulched crown through winter. Roscoea emerges weeks later than every other perennial, sometimes as late as June, and growers who do not know this dig the crown assuming rot, destroying a deep fleshy tuber that was perfectly alive on its own Himalayan seasonal calendar. That deep tuber stores an entire season's energy, making it completely drought, resilient once established, requiring 0 supplemental watering through dry summers in zones 6 through 9, and multiplying by daughter tubers that expand the planting permanently. Cutting foliage before it fully yellows in autumn starves the tuber's storage cycle, a $14 to $22 investment that never recovers from that single mistake. Let the foliage yellow completely, mulch the crown before the first frost, and Roscoea returns every June with an orchid display that stops neighbors at the garden gate without a single dollar spent on replacements. Earlier, I mentioned a collector in Pennsylvania who spent $340 at specialty nurseries. Here is exactly what happened, and why 12 of the 16 plants on this list changed everything about that decision. Earlier, I mentioned a collector in Pennsylvania, Zone 6, early 60s, who spent $340 across 2 specialty nurseries, building her rare border. She found 12 plants from this list at a university extension plant sale for $180 total. And her neighbor stopped at the gate that first season asking which botanical garden she had taken cuttings from. What she told me was that the university extension plant sale existed every April in her county, and nobody at any garden center had mentioned it once in 30 years of buying plants. 12 of her 16 plants are documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center as heritage woodland natives with verified zone performance data, not catalog photography, actual field documentation. The plants your great-grandmother knew are still findable. You simply need to know where the serious growers have always looked. Plant number 7. Glaucidium palmatum. And this is the plant that Japanese woodland garden designers have centered entire borders around for generations, while most American growers have never once encountered it at any nursery they have walked through. Glaucidium palmatum produces large lavender, mauve poppy-like flowers above deeply lobed architectural foliage, so bold it functions as a living sculpture, documented by the Royal Horticultural Society as one of the most desirable woodland perennials in cultivation, retailing between $18 and $28 at specialty nurseries. Zones 5 through 7, deep shade, consistently moist humus, rich acidic soil, cool summer essential. Glaucidium palmatum is rare in American gardens, not because of climate, but because of handling. It resents root disturbance so completely that even a careful transplant sets the plant back 2 full seasons, which is why most nurseries never stock it. Plant it as a young bare root specimen directly into its permanent position in early spring, never move it again. A process documented by the Royal Horticultural Society, requiring 3 seasons before it reaches its architectural form. Summer heat above 80 degrees collapses the root system silently. An $18 to $28 loss that no irrigation or shade cloth ever recovers. Plant it once in cool humus, rich shade. Never move it. And by season 3, Glaucidium palmatum delivers a lavender flower display above architectural foliage that makes every other woodland perennial in the border look ordinary by comparison. Plant 8 is the one that disappears completely in summer and returns every March before the soil temperature has crossed 40 degrees. And what it does in those 6 cold weeks is something most American growers have never witnessed in their own garden. Plant number 8, Cardamine quinquefolia. And this is the plant that produces a carpet of soft pink lilac flowers across the woodland floor in March and early April, then vanishes completely underground by June, leaving no trace that it was ever there. Cardamine quinquefolia spreads by underground rhizome into a quiet self-sustaining colony that fills the coldest gap in any shaded border, documented by University Extension Services as one of the most reliable early-season woodland ground covers for zones 5 through 8, available at specialty nurseries between $12 and $18. Zones 5 through 8, full to part shade, moist humus, rich soil, naturalizes without intervention. Cardamine's complete summer dormancy is its most valuable trait. It occupies 0 above ground space from June through February, making it the perfect companion layer beneath late, emerging perennials like hosta and fern that cover the border exactly when cardamine disappears. Plant it directly beneath a late, emerging companion crown. Cardamine flowers, sets seed, and retreats before the companion fully leafs out, creating a 2-season display from a single square foot, documented by University Extension as a model example of woodland succession planting. Planting it in isolation produces a bare summer border the grower reads as failure, pulling the rhizome and destroying a colony that would have returned for decades. Layer cardamine beneath a late emerging companion. Leave the rhizome undisturbed, and a $12 plant delivers a March flower carpet that returns and expands every season without a single dollar spent on replacements. Plant 9 is the one that produces flowers, so unusual in form that visitors photograph them before they ask what the plant is. And it grows in deep shade, where most collectors have already given up trying. Plant number 9, Anemonopsis macrophylla. And this is the plant that stops every visitor who photographs it because the waxy, nodding lavender flowers hang from arching stems in a way that looks less like a garden perennial and more like something illustrated in a Victorian botanical manuscript. Anemonopsis macrophylla is a Japanese woodland endemic producing translucent lavender, white-cupped flowers above deeply divided foliage, documented by the Royal Horticultural Society as one of the rarest and most sought aftershade perennials in cultivation, retailing between $18 and $28 at specialty nurseries. Zones 5 through 8, deep shade, consistently moist humus, rich acidic soil, cool summer essential. Anemonopsis bloom succession extends 6 to 8 weeks in late summer, when virtually every other woodland perennial has finished flowering, filling the exact gap that leaves most shade gardens empty from July through September. The nodding flower angle is not a structural weakness, but a deliberate pollinator adaptation. The waxy cupped interior stays dry through summer rain events that collapse every upward facing flower in the border, sustaining continuous pollinator presence across that entire window. Any border climbing above 75 degrees through summer collapses the root system. Silently, an $18 to $28 loss that no irrigation ever recovers. Keep it in cool, deep shade. Never let afternoon sun reach the crown, and Anemonopsis fills the late summer gap no other shade perennial touches. This channel exists for Americans who have spent enough seasons making expensive mistakes they were never warned about. If you are in your 50s or 60s, subscribe right now. Zone Aware, dollar grounded, built for your actual life. Plant 10 is the one American colonists grew in every dooryard garden. Then the nursery industry forgot it for 100 years. Plant number 10, celandine poppy. And this is the plant that lit up every colonial American dooryard garden, from Virginia to Pennsylvania. For 2 centuries before the nursery industry replaced it with imports that cost 3 times as much and deliver half the display. Stylophorum diphyllum produces bold golden yellow flowers above deeply lobed blue-green foliage, documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center as a Native American woodland species with verified zone performance across the eastern United States, retailing between $10 and $16 at specialty nurseries. Zones 4 through 9, part to full shade, moist humus, rich soil, self-seeding naturalizer. Stylophorum diphyllum is one of the most aggressive self-seeding woodland natives on this list. A single $10 plant produces viable seed that germinates directly into surrounding humus and builds a colony of 30 to 50 plants within 5 seasons without any intervention. Its vivid orange sap is documented in Native American traditional botanical use by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. So distinctive that colonial botanists cataloged it as a primary field identification marker, connecting every established colony to centuries of American botanical knowledge. Deadheading the spent flowers eliminates every season of free expansion, and a grower who deadheads out of habit loses the entire self-sustaining system that makes this $10 plant worth 10 times its price within 5 years. Never deadheaded, planted in moist shade, and a single $10 celandine poppy becomes a self-sustaining golden colony that expands every season and costs nothing to maintain from year 2 onwards. What plant in your yard has defeated every single thing you have tried? Drop it below, because plant 11 is the one that solves the deepest shade problem most American collectors have spent years trying to crack. Plant number 11, evergreen Solomon's seal. And this is the plant that solves the problem every deep shade collector eventually hits, the border that looks completely abandoned from November through March because every other perennial in it has gone fully dormant. Disporopsis pernyi holds glossy dark green arching stems through every month of the year, produces small white bell flowers beneath those stems in late spring, and requires virtually zero intervention once established, documented by University Extension Services as one of the most structurally reliable evergreen perennials for zones 6 through 9, retailing between $14 and $20. Zones 6 through 9, deep shade, moist humus, rich soil, zero disturbance. Disporopsis pernyi functions as the visual anchor that makes every seasonal layer in the border readable year-round when Trillium, Cardamine, and Anemonopsis have retreated underground. Disporopsis holds the border's architecture intact through winter. It expands by slow rhizome into a dense weed, suppressing clump requiring zero maintenance, zero division, and zero replanting, a $14 investment that permanently holds the most difficult square footage in any shade garden, documented by University Extension for zones 6 through 9. Even 2 hours of direct afternoon sun scorches the evergreen leaves irreversibly, stripping the year-round presence that makes every dollar of its purchase price worth keeping. Keep it in complete shade, never divide it before season 5, and Disporopsis holds your border's structure through every month of the year, while every other perennial around it disappears into the ground. Plant 12 is the one that Native American botanical tradition documented for centuries, and the orange sap it produces is so distinctive that colonial American naturalists used it as a primary field marker every single spring. Plant number 12, Bloodroot. And this is the plant that produces pure white flowers so early in spring that the leaf has not fully opened around them yet. A display so fleeting and so precisely timed that missing it by 4 days means waiting a full year to see it again. Sanguinaria canadensis is documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center as a Native American woodland species, carried in Native American botanical tradition for centuries. Its vivid red-orange sap, used as a field identification marker by colonial American naturalists, retailing between $12 and $18 at specialty nurseries. Zones 3 through 8, part to full shade, moist humus, rich woodland soil, undisturbed rhizome. Sanguinaria canadensis F, multiplex. The double-form bloodroot produces densely layered white petals, lasting nearly twice as long as the single form, documented by the Royal Horticultural Society, retailing $18 to $26, and stopping every visitor who sees it because nothing else in early spring delivers that density of white in a woodland border. Its seeds carry a nutrient, rich elaiosome, that ants collect and carry underground, dispersing bloodroot across the garden in patterns no grower could plan deliberately, documented by University Extension as one of the primary colony building mechanisms of Eastern American woodland natives. Dividing the rhizome before foliage fully yellows leaves both halves too depleted to survive winter, destroying the colony the ant network spent seasons building. Leave the rhizome undisturbed. Let the ants do the dispersal work, and bloodroot builds a white flowering colony across your woodland floor that expands every season without a single dollar spent beyond the original purchase. Plant 13 is the one that exists in so few American gardens that most serious collectors have never seen it growing outside a botanical institution, and it survives in zones 5 through 8 with less intervention than any plant on this list. Plant number 13, Auchinee bells. And this is the plant that Asa Gray, the most influential American botanist of the 19th century, spent years searching for across the southern Appalachians before finally locating it in 1788, a discovery so significant it was documented in American botanical history as one of the most celebrated native plant finds on the continent. Roscoea glaucifolia produces nodding white fringed bellflowers above glossy rounded evergreen leaves that turn deep burgundy in winter, retailing between $16 and $24 at specialty nurseries. Zones 5 through 8. Full shade, consistently moist acidic humus, rich soil, undisturbed establishment. Roscoea glaucifolia's winter transformation is its second display season. Glossy green leaves, shifting to deep burgundy and copper as temperatures drop, documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center as one of the most ornamentally valuable winter foliage effects of any Eastern American native. It requires soil pH between 4.5 and 5.5. Any deviation toward neutral collapses the root system before the second winter, making a pH test before planting the single most important decision a collector makes. Alkaline tap water raises soil pH around the shallow roots faster than any amendment corrects, and a $16 to $24 plant disappears silently within 2 seasons while the grower blames shade or moisture. Test your soil pH before planting. Maintain consistent acidity, and Auchinee bells delivers white spring bells, followed by burgundy winter foliage. 2 distinct display seasons from a single $16 plant that Asa Gray crossed the Appalachians to find. Plant 14 is the one that federal law protects in the wild, and the reason serious collectors only ever buy Nursery. Propagated stock is a story that changes how you think about every rare plant on this list. Plant number 14, showy lady slipper orchid. And this is the plant that produces a white and deep rose, pink pouch flower so architecturally precise that every visitor who sees it growing in a garden border assumes it was carried in from a climate-controlled greenhouse that morning. Cypripedium reginae is Minnesota's state flower, fully protected from wild collection under federal law and documented by the United States Fish and Wildlife Service as a species whose wild populations have been devastated by illegal digging, retailing between $28 and $45 as nursery. Propagated stock at specialist growers. Zones 2 through 7. Part shade, consistently moist neutral to slightly alkaline humus, rich soil, undisturbed permanent position. Cypripedium reginae depends on a specific mycorrhizal fungal relationship to survive. Wild collected plants die within 2 seasons because that fungal network cannot be transplanted, which is precisely why every wild dug lady slipper fails and why federal protection exists. Nursery. Propagated stock is raised in symbiosis with cultivated mycorrhizal inoculant from germination. It arrives garden, ready, builds a permanent multi-stem colony, adding 1 to 2 new stems per season. Documented by University Extension as one of the most rewarding long-term investments in any serious American shade garden. Fast-spreading ground cover competitors invading the root zone before the mycorrhizal relationship fully establishes collapse, a $28 to $45 plant silently before season 3. Buy only nursery. Propagated stock. Give it undisturbed neutral humus, and Cypripedium builds a pouch flower colony that stops every visitor who sees it. This is not here to make you afraid of your own garden. It is here because your family deserves to know exactly what they are growing, and nobody at that garden center was ever going to tell you this unprompted. Plant 15 has grown in American woodland gardens since before the revolution, and most growers in zones 3 through 9 have never been told it exists. Plant number 15, crested dwarf iris. And this is the plant that carpets a shaded woodland floor with lavender. Blue flowers in April so completely that visitors assume you laid down something artificial to achieve the effect. Iris cristata is a Native American woodland species documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center across the eastern United States, producing delicate crested flowers with a distinctive golden and white central ridge above a low-spreading rhizome mat, retailing between $10 and $14 at specialty nurseries. Zones 3 through 9, part to full shade, moist well, drained humus, rich soil, shallow rhizome, naturalizes freely. Iris cristata's shallow rhizome doubles the colony footprint every 2 to 3 seasons. But that same shallow system overcrowds faster than any plant on this list, and an undivided colony, older than 4 seasons flowers, at a fraction of its potential as rhizomes, compete for surface moisture. Dividing every 3 years in late summer, lifting outer sections, replanting 6 inches apart in freshly top-dressed humus, converts a declining colony back to peak, flowering carpet within 1 season. Documented by University Extension as the single management step that permanently expands display footprint for 0 additional plant cost. Any competitor that closes the canopy too tightly over the shallow rhizome mat suppresses flowering completely within 2 seasons, turning a $10 carpet plant into an invisible non-performer. Divide every 3 years in late summer, replant divisions 6 inches apart in fresh humus, and Iris cristata produces a lavender, blue April carpet that expands permanently across your woodland floor for 0 additional plant cost season after season. Plant number 16. This is the plant I teased at the very beginning, the one serious ancestral botanical collectors have kept off the mainstream list for 30 years. Here it is, plant number 16, Bellwort grandiflora. And this is the plant that produces twisted pale yellow hanging bells on arching stems in April, so distinctive in form that every visitor who sees it asks the same question: what is that and where do I find it? Uvularia grandiflora is a Native American woodland species documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center across the eastern United States. Its perfoliate leaves clasping each stem so precisely that the plant looks architectural even before a single flower opens, retailing between $10 and $14 at specialty nurseries. Zones 3 through 8, part to full shade, moist humus, rich woodland soil, naturalizes freely by rhizome. Uvularia's perfoliate leaf wraps completely around each stem, so the stem appears to grow through the leaf center, a geometric precision readable from 10 feet away, before a single flower opens, and no other spring woodland perennial combines that foliage structure with a twisted hanging bell that makes visitors crouch and look closer every time. It spreads by rhizome into a graceful arching colony that never becomes aggressive, expanding steadily without overwhelming neighboring plants, documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center as one of the most compatible naturalizers for mixed woodland plantings across zones 3 through 8. Soil that dries between rain events stunts the rhizome permanently, locking a $10 plant in juvenile single-stem form for years, while the grower waits for a colony that never arrives. Keep the soil consistently moist. Let the rhizome spread at its own pace, and Uvularia ties every rare perennial on this list into a coherent arching colony that no garden center ever assembles. You just received zone-accurate, dollar-grounded, research-based plant knowledge that most American gardening channels have never put in one place. That is what every Natural Verge video delivers every single week. Subscribe now and turn on the bell. 3 things about this collector list that almost no source puts in one place, coming right now. 3 things about this rare collector perennial list that almost no source puts in one place. Cypripedium reginae is federally protected from wild collection under the Endangered Species Act. Any plant sold without nursery propagation documentation is illegal to own and has already contributed to the elimination of wild populations across 7 eastern states. Always demand propagation provenance before purchase. Trillium grandiflorum takes 7 full years to reach mature crown size, documented by the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, making every established colony in a private American garden a genuinely irreplaceable botanical asset worth far more than its $14 to $20 purchase price. Anemonopsis betanissifolia requires cool summer temperatures below 78 degrees to survive past season 2, documented by the Royal Horticultural Society, Zone 8 and above growers, who attempt it without a north-facing shaded position, lose it every single time, regardless of irrigation or soil preparation. The complete 16-plant collector border carries a combined specialty nursery value above $400, assembled through a University Extension April plant sale for under $200, a one-time investment that compounds permanently as colonies expand, self-seed, and multiply every season without replanting. Here is exactly where to begin, based on your zone. Right now, here is exactly where to begin. Zones 3 through 5. Start with Trillium grandiflorum, Bloodroot crested dwarf iris, and Bellwort grandiflora, all 4 established from a single University Extension April plant sale for under $60 total, a permanent self-expanding woodland foundation that adds colony value every season without replanting. Zones 6 through 7 add Roscoea cautleyoides, Disporopsis pernyi, and Anemonopsis macrophylla to that foundation. 3 plants that fill the summer bloom gap, the deep shade evergreen anchor, and the late season display that no other Zone 6 through 7 woodland border delivers for under $65 combined. Zones 8 through 9, Disporopsis pernyi, Roscoea cautleyoides, and Cardamine quinquefolia form your permanent layered base. Miss the bare root spring window in April, and every one of these plants makes you wait a full year for the next University Extension sale to open. You just watched zone-accurate, dollar-grounded, research-based rare plant knowledge that most American gardening channels have never assembled in a single video. 16 collector perennials, verified zone data, University Extension sourcing, and the exact dollar math that makes every plant on this list a permanent compounding investment. Which plant on this list are you starting with? And what zone are you in? Drop your plant and your zone in the comments right now. If you are in your 50s or 60s, and you have spent decades planting the same dozen perennials every neighbor already grows, this is the channel that ends that cycle permanently. Subscribe to Natural Verge. The rare plants your great-grandmother's generation knew by name are still findable, and we locate them every single week.